to explore it, nothing too serious. Forget the world for a minute, before we know it, the future's the past. Seize the moment while we're in it, hold on to each other as long as it lasts. I don't care about forever, 'cause sometimes forever is over so fast. Hush, hush, baby, come on, here with me alone, for you to go. No need to worry, there is no hurry to stay, we'll take it slow.
So this year in the game,
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello and welcome. I'm Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal on 2K Sports. It's been an interesting season so far. Lots of action, lots of intrigue. Tonight, we'll be watching the Minnesota Timberwolves playing against the Suns in Phoenix. Well, for the Suns, playing under 500 basketball over the last 10 games, they can do better, and they'll try to get on the winning side tonight. Guys, Devin Booker, even in his rookie season, you saw something special with the way he can score the ball, and he just keeps on getting better. Can he be the top scoring two-guard at some point in his career?
Top scoring, yes, but his goal should be the top overall two-guard, two-way player. I think he has the ability to score, and we've seen that early in his career. Now his anticipation on the defensive end and his aggressiveness on the defensive end, if that increases, he has a chance to be the best two-guard in 5 years.
And I agree with you, Kenny, and he's already a problem to defend without doubling. This kid can flat out play.
And with that, just about time for tip. We'll see you later.
Welcome, basketball fans, to a very special Veterans Day edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. With Brent Barry and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan, and David Aldridge will be joining us on the sideline as well. This game is part of the travel schedule for Minnesota. This is a team showing a better record this year over last. This was their goal, and it's coming to fruition so far.
Well, right now for the Timberwolves, you know, this happens every year. A team outperforms
expectations early. You wonder, is this just an anomaly or is this something they can sustain?
Well, it could be hard for them to keep this rolling, but the initial boost of confidence for all these players could help them weather any storms on the horizon.
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, Gibson is the 4 with Towns in the middle. Butler teams with Wiggins as the deadly wing duo. And it's Teague in at the point guard.
And right in the teeth of the defense, making a statement early in this one.
Yeah, pinpointing the rim protection with that attack, and no one makes enough of an effort there to stop him.
Pass to Chandler, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by James. Well, the Suns' issue last season was their defensive focus, Brent. Bottom 5 in the league in defense, and had a lot of trouble not committing silly fouls on defense.
That's where youth plays a huge part, Kevin. Inexperience, not understanding the nuances of the NBA defensive game. And a lot of times what you'll see, Kevin, is young guys getting caught up in the idea that, hey, I stopped my man, I did a good job defensively, and that's not really what team defense is all about, certainly at the NBA level.
Knocked loose. Chandler, the pass to James. First quarter of play, 1 minute played. There's a screen by Chris. Just 5 to shoot. And Gibson, here we go. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
Well, at 6'9", Taj Gibson has the ability to get up there and throw it down.
And here are the Suns now. 6-point game. Last game matched up with the Magic. A tough loss there.
Yeah, and they were just shaky at times when it mattered most in that game, and it cost them.
Yeah, Greg, I think you're right there. At major turning points, they'd miss a series of shots, they'd make some mistakes, and it led to the wipeout.
And the replay is courtesy of Under Armour. Unleash chaos. It was a great sequence from the steal all the way to the finish at the other end. And now here's Chris. 9 points last game out. Towns down low. Chandler on him. Wiggins. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. On defense, Minnesota. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Warriors.
And really, you'd like to just see more from that inside game offensively. In that one, it didn't happen.
And sometimes your poor shooting from the perimeter can dictate, it should dictate, that you go to the inside. Tonight they didn't do it.
A nice shot by Teague.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Phoenix has gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. James kicks to Chris. Back to James. Good ball movement here by the Suns. Wide open. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. James has got his second basket of the night, and it's Towns penetrating. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Teague's got 3 assists tonight. To the paint. Kicks it out to James. Fires for 3. Doesn't get it to drop for him. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. And going against Phoenix, their first meeting of the season.
And they swept the season series against them last year. They really did have the upper hand.
And there's the call on Karl Anthony Towns. That's his first foul. Teague against James, and they double up James. Clock at 6 to the inside. Cloak loose. Gibson with the steal.
Just too many miscues here in the early.
Oh.
I tell you what, Butler is a physical dunker. I mean, he takes his craft seriously. I just love watching this guy take off.
And first time out of the game called for Phoenix. And an exciting start to the year, but a long way to go if you're a veteran player. How do you pace yourself?
Well, you asked the coach if you could have a night off here and there. We've seen, obviously, the league going to this, Kevin, making sure that physically the players have the most that they can have come postseason and not get overextended during the regular season. And then if you know the game well enough, Kevin, there's certainly ways throughout the course of a ball game to know when it is you can exert yourself and then pull back a little bit. And that doesn't mean that the guy's not playing hard or competing. It just means that there's a little bit of smartness with regards to how he's approaching each and every contest.
And I like this timeout. You're getting terrible rim protection right now.
Well, you got to ask your team to give you a little bit more effort because there's just not a lot of fire on the defensive end.
Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. You look at the Timberwolves. Here in the early part of the season, they've acquired the third best record in the conference. And checking out Phoenix, 4 games back.
And I think for the Suns, they weren't part of the discussion of teams on the rise as we came into the year. And now, quite frankly, we know why. If anything, they've taken a step back.
Still some chances to find some positives as the season comes to an end. Even if it's not a playoff spot, just some kind of forward momentum heading into the offseason.
Booker against Butler. In the corner, it's James. He feeds it to Warren. Booker with the screen for James. Knocks it loose. Towns with the steal. Teague with the ball. He's picked up by James.
Well, these are treasures found for Jeff Teague. 2 trips to the free throw line. He's going to knock them down.
2 shots, gentlemen. 2.
And Jeff Teague coming over to the Timberwolves in free agency. Greg, the team felt he was the perfect fit.
You know, and it seemed for a while the Wolves had wanted to kind of mix things up at that point guard position. And you knew they had someone in mind when they dealt both Rubio and Dunn in the offseason. Teague was their man all along.
The first one falls.
And as you would expect from the way he plays, Teague is a terrific free throw shooter.
And so he makes both from the line.
I love the complementary aspect of this group now. You know, you've got the young talent, but you've brought in some veteran leadership here for the Timberwolves. The duo of Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns kind of gave the confidence to them to go out and acquire a superstar in his prime like Jimmy Butler.
Taj Gibson is tough, proven veteran who plays well on both ends of the court.
Minnesota shooting their third and fourth free throw shots of the night. The first free throw is good. And Greg, the core of this Timberwolves team is Wiggins and Towns. And, you know, rarely do you get to see 2 number-1 overall picks team up early in their careers.
And how about back-to-back years, no less. But I consider Jimmy Butler kind of a foundational piece as well. He's in the conversation for the best shooting guard in our league.
And both free throws good from Gibson. Hey, Brent, with the stakes of players' health being so high, we've seen contract clauses prohibiting many outside activities, but we're talking also about 20-year-old guys who just want to live their lives and enjoy what the success has brought them. What's the balance here?
I think the league tries to do a good job of making sure that players aren't involved in activities that are going to jeopardize what it is that their livelihood brings them, and that is their ability to play on the NBA floor, Kevin. And a lot of those things that you see in the player contract are absolutely things that a player can enjoy.
Oh!
No, that just happened. That's the kind of work you want your point guard to do. Sensational ball movement by Jeff Teague there to set up his man.
Suns trail by 13, and we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Thanks very much. I spoke with the Suns head coach for just a bit. It's the first matchup of the season against this team, and he knows that they have great shot blocking. But he did say we've got to remain aggressive and continue to attack. Put the bigs in high pick-and-roll situations and shoot the jumper with confidence. They feel that's the key, Kevin.
All right, David, thanks. Well, the challenge of facing this tough defensive squad is right at the front of their minds.
As it should be, because if they're not prepared for every look and matchup that D is going to throw at them, it'll be a long day.
I think he has them prepared, and now it's just a question of whether they can match the energy and intensity that this team always brings onto the floor.
Here's Booker. 9 points last game out. There's a screen by Chris. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense.
The last time the Suns saw postseason basketball was back in 2010. This team knows that the next step for them in the rebuilding process is to get back to competitive level of play. These Suns fans are certainly not used to not seeing postseason basketball in the desert.
Free throw good, James. And the Suns, they've had so much success as a franchise, Brent, for so long. This is actually their longest playoff drought in team history.
Yeah, they've had a ton of playoff consistency, and they were unlucky to not ever have won a title, especially during the years with Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, and when Grant Hill was added to that roster. Great talent and a great style under Mike D'Antoni. All those teams came up a little bit short. Now they've got a young roster that's trying to get back, trying to experience and taste what it's like to be in those kind of games.
The Timberwolves shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
2 shots.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
And he makes the first. Brent, you have 2 championship rings. Some guys would kill for 1. Talk about a season where you thought you would capture a title, but for some reason it just wasn't meant to be.
It's interesting, after the 2005 championship in San Antonio, coming back in 2006, I thought we were destined to get the job done that very next year. And it's funny how slight the difference is between a championship season and just a contending season, Kevin. An injury, a bounce, a foul, a free throw. It makes you appreciate the fragility of what a championship season is all about.
Well said. Here's Towns, and he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And Phoenix gets called for the foul.
And for a player with his size, Towns has always been very comfortable at the free throw line. And that's a good thing because he finds himself there quite a bit.
It's his first trip to the line.
One of the areas where he has excelled all season long. How about 87% from the line?
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
The free throw drops for Towns. Well, Towns does so many things on the floor, already an elite post scorer. But, Greg, one area that he has struggled with at times is his defense against other bigs.
And I think he'll continue to improve in that area. What happens with young guys, though, is oftentimes you're improved how good I am mode when you're young, and you lose sight of some of the things that help you win games. And I think that's one reason why he had one of the worst defensive RPMs in the entire league. But young bigs tend to take a bit longer to develop into great defenders, and I expect he will follow in that line.
And the Suns call time. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated. here to look at the numbers for Devin Booker. He's putting up about 21 points per, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds. And he's a threat to go off in any game from anywhere.
I love it when guys tap back into that gift. All these guys at some point were that kind of player in their career. Fun to see it show up here.
And out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession. Let's get some information from the 2K leaderboard. In about the last 10 games in the NBA, during that span, these teams have the most second-chance points in the league. In fourth, the Timberwolves.
I mean, you love their aggressiveness, not settling for one shot offensively, but really running down those loose boards and converting for extra points.
Suns trail by 14. Got a piece of it. Jackson kicks to Ulis. There's a screen by Chris. Teague on the double team. And out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession.
And a moment here to check out the numbers for Towns. 7th in rebounding, 8th in blocks, and with a top 20 ranking in field goal percentage, you put the ball in his hands and he converts at a remarkable rate.
And he's a top 10 rebounder this year for good reason. He's unbelievably driven and he competes with you for the entire game.
Starting to surge here, and we're only in the first quarter.
And I'm loving what I'm seeing, the passion that they're playing with up and down the floor.
Towns with the steal, and the dunk by Towns.
And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. You see it now on the scoreboard.
Just incredible flow offensively. Everyone's doing their part. Let's see if they can sustain this early momentum.
Jackson dishes to Ulis. And there's the call on Karl Anthony Towns. That's foul number 2 for him.
There are times where you have to play with a little bit more caution. That's already his 2nd foul in the first quarter.
Alex Len's checked in for the Suns. Timberwolves also changing it up. Gorgie Dangs checked in for Towns. Crawford comes in for Butler. And Jones subbed in for Jeff Teague. Here's Len. That one's off. Still out of sync. Minnesota leading by 18. Here's Crawford. Buries it down low. Crawford's got his first 2 points of the night.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
Ulis kicks to Chris. Back to Ulis, trying his luck deep. The putback. And Booker able to finish.
Oh, how about the deft touch right there, guys?
He just guided that ball back up and in. Just a fingertip touch on the ball. Crawford. Good D by Booker.
Oh, you just relish those kind of opportunities. And the defense got lucky, but they need to guard that area of the floor a little bit better.
Ulis kicks to Jackson. Out of bounds. Minnesota takes possession. And the Suns making a change here. Bender's checked in. Shabazz Muhammad's checked in for the Timberwolves. It's been all Timberwolves. And Gibson, here we go. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
Methodical in their approach. They have absolutely owned this first quarter.
Yeah, you can credit the play calling. Nothing really fancy, just imposing their will on the inside.
Ulis passes to Bender. Misses the 3. Timberwolves leading by 20. Here's Jang. That one falls. Jang's got his first basket.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
Ulis dishes to Booker. Out left to the wing. From past the arc, Bender with the bucket.
Booker finding the open man that time, trying to get his teammates going.
Bender's gone 50% from the arc, 1 of 2. And finished off by Jang.
And offensively, they've done a great job here of staying in rhythm.
Well, they've been the better shooting team throughout the first half because of their patience and because of their shot selection.
And that's out of bounds. Phoenix will retain possession. Now, here's Ulis, defended by Jones. Knocks it loose. Muhammad with it. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him.
And Jackson is an impressive defender, using his huge wingspan to turn away shots.
Muhammad, no luck.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
Timberwolves leading by 21. Here's Crawford. Another shot. Ulis pulls it in.
Ooh, the D did just enough to keep him from scoring. Thought that was in for sure.
Over to the wing. Bender with a wide open look. Offensive rebound. No good from Booker. Minnesota shooting an impressive 60% early. Jones for three. Phoenix grabs the miss. Fast break, here come the Suns. The wide open look here for Ulis. Here's Len, tries again. Back to Booker, over Crawford. No good from Booker. Minnesota's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Here's Gibson. It's deflected.
And Bender really using that 9'3" standing reach to block these shots. Just a towering presence.
Jackson kicks to Len. He dishes it to Ulis. The feed to Booker. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Gibson. Now let's check out the rebounds and where they're coming from. Here's a breakdown showing the front court and the back court rebounding numbers for Minnesota.
And the guards have really chipped in on the glass. I mean, gang rebounding has been critical for them as they've built this big lead. You see the effort 1 through 5.
And it's the Suns with the ball. Shot clock at 5. Gibson with the steal. Jones drives in, and the shot is good.
And the defense looks soft early on. They've got to summon up a little more sense of urgency.
Over to the wing. Ulis passes to Len. Shot to end this cold run, and that comes off the assist by Ulis.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
And that one is good.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Jackson in the corner. Connects from three-point range.
And you can see now Jackson starting to shoot that shot with ease. A lot of confidence now flowing through the young fella.
From deep, Muhammad grabs the board. 2 on the clock, and it's laid in by Jang. Jang's got 8.
Out quickly, then the beautiful execution. You can't do it any better.
There's running the floor, and then there's running the floor with purpose, and I love the energy on this play.
It's been all about Karl Anthony Towns for Minnesota. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And Tyson Chandler, known for being a great teammate, a very vocal leader certainly, he talked about how important that is for an NBA locker room.
Players do the policing. Coach sets a standard, but players individually call out other players. You know, whether it be timeout, whether it be halftime, whether it be pulling guys to the side, you know, in practice. When you have that going on, you see multiple guys doing that, that's when you know you have a good team.
Don't you need a player like this, of Chandler's caliber and character, Greg, to make that kind of a teamwork, you know, have that feel in the locker room, that leadership role that everybody believes in and respects?
No doubt about it, Kevin. And that weighty stature is built on experience and credentials, as you mentioned, like having that championship ring or being an all-star. But when you have it and use it that way, the coach doesn't have to worry about the locker room because Chandler has got that covered.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And guys, we've seen a confident-looking Timberwolves team out there.
They're just not sitting back. They are going for steals, and their activity has been terrific.
Yeah, so that disruption is helping out because it's leading to some easy chances on the other end.
On the court for Minnesota, Taj Gibson is out there with Muhammad. Then it's Crawford. Then it's Gorgie Dang. And it's Jones in at the point guard position. Booker, there's his third field goal, and now he's made half of his 6 shots. And Greg, you wouldn't expect it from a Coach Thibodeau team, but defense was an issue for the Timberwolves last year.
And the Wolves brought in Butler to help with offense, but more importantly, his defense. And Butler, familiar with what Thibs likes to do on both ends of the floor, has the leadership the team needs, particularly on the defensive end.
Two.
And that one falls for Muhammad. As we've seen, many teams play a little bit of a soft zone defensively. What's the best way, you think, Brent, to counteract that when you're trying to run your half-court offense?
Well, the best way to counteract anybody who's softening up on the backside of the zone is to overload that side of the court, Kevin. So now all of a sudden, if you make a shift with more players on one side of the floor, there's no way for 3 to cover 2 on the backside. That's where teams can gain incredible advantage.
And the Timberwolves, a team that is evolving how you imagine they would with Tibbs running things here. Deliberate approach on both ends of the floor and really looking to dominate the rebounding margins.
That one, no good. Muhammad with the steal. Looking for Gibson. He gets it there. Makes it off the glass. Gibson's got 10 points.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Greg, in the areas you just talked about, rebounding and pace, the Timberwolves are very much where they were.
Oh, wow.
Hello.
That's a beautiful jam.
Jamal Crawford's so hard to handle in one-on-one situations. That time blows past the defense.
Phoenix has gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Ulis with it, now defended by Muhammad. Ball's knocked loose. Timberwolves on offense. They've gone on a 10-2 run, not allowing much. Battles through traffic and lays it in. Muhammad's got 4 this quarter.
And when you can outscore your opponent in transition, that's always going to work to your advantage.
They've also taken care of some of the details in this game, and that's why they're ahead.
Len dishes to Ulis. In the corner, it's James. 5 to shoot. And the rejection by Jang. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Warren's checked in for Jackson. Minnesota also with the sub. Karl Anthony Towns checked in for Taj Gibson. Minnesota with the ball. It's a 12-2 run here. Good pace. Here's Towns. And he banks in the layup. He's got 12.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Here's Bender. Good, and the assist goes to James. 6 points for Dragan Bender.
That's the kind of confidence Bender has in himself, ready to fire as soon as he gets the ball in his hands.
And Muhammad gets it to go.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
James kicks to Warren. Back to James. 13 feet away from downtown. The shot will not fall. So Minnesota will take it the other way.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
Oh, they own the interior right now. 10 straight points coming from inside.
Dishes to Warren. Back to James. Tipped away. Towns with the steal. Here's Jones, and Jones slams it home.
It's contagious. Every guy on the team working to keep this streak alive.
It's so fun when you're rolling like this. You just want it to continue as long as possible. And right now, fingertips are ablaze.
That's tipped. Out of bounds. It'll go to the Suns. And why don't we quickly go to the 2K leaderboard and find out which shooting guards have been the hottest at the free throw line this season. Second, Jamal Crawford.
And this is a set of players that can drive and slash, hoping to draw contact, because if they can get to the bucket and the foul, it's going to be a three-point play the hard way.
And they have no issues with drawing that kind of contact. They're more than willing to put their bodies on the line, because as well as they shoot the free throws, they know these trips to the line will always pay off. Easy too.
Straight power, homie. I mean, he ripped it down with both hands.
Absolutely a resounding dunk. Towns comes with a double team. Over in the corner, Warren. And the shot falls short this time.
Not a lot of defense there. You can't afford to let guys shoot freely from the mid-range. They're not going to miss those all that often.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
James kicks to Warren. Now here's Ulis. He's guarded closely. Got a piece of it. Len sets a screen for Bender. Towns with the steal. Jumps up. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
And looking at Towns and what he can do on the floor already at his age is impressive. This is a guy who's going to be a 20 and 10 player perhaps for the rest of his career. And as young as he is, I tell you, the sky is the limit.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
The free throw drops for Towns. And when you look at the second year for Towns, it's comparable to other great big men in the history of the NBA. And Greg, I'm talking about players in the top 50 of all time.
Yeah, I mean, just on the sophomore season stats, he looks like he projects to be one of the all-time greats. Comparable numbers to some of the best who have ever played it. Think of these names: Hakeem, Duncan, Ewing, and the Admiral. Maybe we'll be saying Karl Anthony Towns as well.
There's a screen by Chris. Inside, off the screen, and blocked. That one goes careening off the glass.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
There's a screen by Chris. Tipped away. And here we go. Teague heading to the hoop. And the dunk by Towns.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
A terrific anticipation using the hands. How are you not protecting the basketball in that situation? I love the aggressiveness. He's been on fire the entire first half and continues to strike while the iron's hot.
Towns comes with a double team. Towns with the steal. And stolen by Chris. Now here's Ulis, defended by Butler. And here is Ulis. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Shot clock at 6. James kicks to Ulis. And the Suns miss again.
Yeah, it just seems whatever they do, nothing's working right now to stop the bleeding.
I still think there's a chance you string a couple of big plays together and the tide can turn very quickly.
Now here's James. 10 points for him. And Ulis has it in the corner. Here's Warren to halt the run, and he lays it up and in.
Pretty ferocious and sheer determination shown on that one. Easy to see why he gets those easy scoring opportunities.
And that one's good. Wiggins.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Here's Jang. Good for the 5th time in 5 shots. He remains perfect.
And 10 of their last 12 coming off assists.
James with it, picked up by Teague. A 3 from Warren. Chandler the pass to Ulis. Here's Chris. Missed it, even after all those chances. Here's Towns. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Hey, Brent, you went from player to announcer. What different aspect of the game do you notice now watching it from the booth?
You know, I think it's great just to have the perspective when I'm able to sit courtside, Kevin, and watch everything that goes on outside the play, the reaction from coaches to players and their demeanor, whether they're carrying out their assignments, watch guys on the bench. So much more emotion I can catch sitting on the sidelines next to you.
I bet. And the first one at the line is good.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
Devin Booker, he's checked in for the Suns. And Towns drops them both. Well, Brent, you look at the front court options for the Suns, and they have a lot of youth and a lot of length, certainly. Definitely, it's going to be a strong point for the team as they rebuild.
Well, it plays into the Suns' scheme to get out and try to run in transition and not to have a lot of these young guys set up in the half court and deal with getting pushed and beat around a little bit. Once they settle in and establish their confidence playing with that style of play, maybe they can take the next step to be more consistent on the offensive end.
Well, Phoenix shooting 33% for the night. That's a big thorn in their side right now. And that's out of bounds. Phoenix will retain possession.
And with the break in the action, let's look at the stats for Teague. 5th in assists, and he's as opportunistic as anybody defensively, ranking among the top 15 league-wide in steals per game.
And as you said, dropping dimes at a top 5 pace. He's in total command of his team. They look to him for leadership, and he does not disappoint. Here's Chandler. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game.
Outstanding defense from Teague to prevent that shot from going down.
James, no good. Towns, no luck. Well, Phoenix shooting a measly 26% in the second quarter. Booker with it. Butler covering. And Booker kicks to Warren. Back to Booker. There's a screen by Chris. Knocked away. And out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession. And a moment here to look at where the shots have been coming from for the Timberwolves.
This is the shot chart of a dominant performance. I mean, he's taking a lot of shots because right now he believes that every shot he does take is going in. And who can blame him with the way he's played? Simply outstanding work coming from him.
It's been all Timberwolves. T kicks to Wiggins. It's hauled in by Warren. James outside. They double him with Wiggins. To the middle. Poke loose. Out of bounds. Minnesota takes possession.
Yeah, just not good court awareness there. You cannot afford to be careless. That just leads to bad turnovers.
And the Suns making a change here. Jackson's checked in. And a change for the Timberwolves. Gibson's checked in. Teague dishes to Butler. He kicks to Gibson. Pass to Towns. The shot from the low post is good. Towns has got 30 points.
Well, his offense should come with a warning label, caution, flammable. He's connecting on everything. The D looks dumbfounded.
Towns with the steal. The finish and the dunk by Towns.
Oh, Kevin, not a petty, not a Manny, but a facial.
Oh, a bounce to the ounce, Greg? Yeah, showing off the bunnies. Now James, 10 points for him. And it's Chris in the corner. Phoenix, no good that time either.
You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game. And just keeping his teammates involved. This is the kind of leadership you like to see.
Well, you could trademark this brand of basketball, running through the progressions and working around for decent looks.
And Towns the bucket on the assist by T. That's 36 points for Karl Anthony Towns. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
And there's the call on Karl Anthony Towns. That's his third foul of the game. .121 left in the first half. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Towns. Let's take a brief moment to look at the 2K leaderboard with the list of the league's feistiest defensive teams. Fifth, the Timberwolves.
You can't get careless with the basketball against this group. I mean, they'll pick your pocket, and no surprise to see them in the upper echelon as far as steals.
Just 5 on the clock. James with it, now guarded by Gibson.
Now Gibson is going to get gritty on defense. Does a solid job right there of staying in front of his man. Nothing easy.
And they double up James. And stolen by Wiggins. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. .54 seconds left in the first half of the game. James kicks to Chandler. There's the pick. On the wing, Jackson. They get a hand on it. Outside Butler. Over Booker. It's hauled in by the Suns. Chandler's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. To the middle. Shot to stop the drought. Chris gets the bucket. Chris has got 5 points now this quarter.
Quick decision-making from Marquise Chris. Fantastic at knowing when to shoot off the pass.
Shot's good by Gibson.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
James kicks to Booker. No good with the triple. Here's Wiggins, and it's Wiggins with the jam.
And at full speed, he still has the wherewithal to get himself in good position.
Yeah, the snap decisions right there, reading the situation on the move and then making the right choice.
And so it's Minnesota with a huge lead at the break. Safe to say there's no catching them today. A look at the field goal percentage numbers tells the story of what tough defense they're playing today. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Jimmy Butler. Jimmy, you have come a long way in this league. When you look at your career now versus when you came in, how different is it?
Much different. I think on the floor, I'm supposed to do a lot more on both ends of the floor. And off the floor, I think it's still the same. People recognize my hair.
Well, it is a unique style, Jimmy. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, y'all. Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. What a start it was for Karl Anthony Towns. He ended up with 36 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. And Kenny, what did you see out there from the Timberwolves?
Well, they're making a living at the line, and that's a direct result of being aggressive. They're not just settling for shots that the defense offers them. They're attacking the defense and drawing fouls. That's big-time basketball, and obviously it's led to a big-time lead.
And over to Shaq. What did you think about Phoenix?
Well, they were playing like it was Christmas, Ernie, giving up a lot of turnovers. There's no excuses for the turnover numbers, sloppy ball handling. They look out of control, and the execution was all over the place.
And that will conclude our halftime presentation. We take you back to Kevin Harlan for the second half.
The streets around this beautiful arena in downtown Phoenix, the home of the Suns. And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. Karl Anthony Towns has been sensational.
And how about that? Already through 2 quarters and some change, he's got a double-double.
Well, it's an impressive performance thus far, but it goes beyond just his ability. Right now, he's just simply outworking the opponent.
Minnesota with the ball. It's off to Utah for him after this game as they take on the Jazz. That'll be the last game of their very short 3-game road tour. Warren is the 3 while Chris plays the 4. And it's Chandler. Then there's Devin Booker. And it's James in at the 1 spot. That's who's out there for Phoenix. And Chris throws it down.
Now, Marquise Chris is becoming one of those guys you got to see when he's jamming it down.
The Timberwolves shooting 71% all in all in this one. They've been brilliant offensively.
And with Marquise Chris out of the University of Washington, the 8th overall pick from 2016, he took a little bit of time to get settled as a rookie, but about halfway through the season, you could see the light go on, and you could see why the team brought him in. Explosive as a 4-man and great at running the floor.
Out of bounds, Phoenix takes possession. And here are the Suns now. There's a screen by Chris. They get a hand on it. Kicks it to Warren. Booker with no one around. Drains it from beyond the arc. Booker's got 9 points. And with Chris, the length and mobility that he shows at his position, Brent, something that GMs and coaches are always searching for.
Well, kind of cool that the guy just turned 20 years old during the summer. I look forward to the progress that Marquise Chris is going to make after 75 starts in his rookie season. An explosive 4-man around the rim.
They set the screen. Outside Butler. Down low. The kick out to T. A 3-pointer, Wiggins, and that comes off the assist by Jeff T. And that's now 11 points for Andrew Wiggins. James, the pass to Warren. To the middle. And here we go. Fast break. Towns has got it. And the dunk by Towns.
That's the kind of player Jeff Teague is. Plays hard on D, and the team gets out on the break because of it.
They've been a little too casual with the ball out there.
Yeah, but you can't force that square peg into the round hole. Oftentimes, you just got to make that first simple pass and get a rhythm from that. And he placed that pass out in front of him and let him just run into it in rhythm.
Passes it to Towns. And the dunk by Towns.
Just a great job there from Teague to locate where his teammate was and get the ball to him on time.
Suns have gone 3 of 3 from the field since halftime. Towns comes with a double team. Unhindered, going all the way. And it's Butler with the jam.
And you got to like what they're doing offensively, executing at a high rate and starting to pile it on.
Yeah, we're sitting here midway through the game now, and we're starting to see them take more and more control. They look very confident in what they're doing.
Near the 3-point line, it's Booker. It's not going to go for him. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts. They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
There's a screen by Chris. Towns with the steal. Pushing it up. Shot's good by Gibson. Gibson's got 16 points.
You know, guys, fast break points right now in their favor, and they're really pushing the tempo.
Ball's knocked loose. Gibson with the steal. A nice shot by Teague. He has 6.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
James against Teague. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
This game is going to get even more out of hand unless they start valuing the basketball.
Alex Lenz checked in for Phoenix. Ulis comes in for James. Minnesota also with the sub. Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for Jimmy Butler. Feeds it to Towns. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Towns has got 46 points.
Strong work for him at the offensive end, helping them to maintain that lead.
Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation.
And becoming impatient, that's not how you're going to catch up.
Yeah, that's a painful mistake there. All you can do is just shake that one off and try your best to move on to the next play.
The Suns making a switch here. Bender's checked in, and then for Minnesota, Jang, he's checked in for Gibson. Shabazz Muhammad comes in for Andrew Wiggins, and Tyus Jones subbed in for Teague.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. Drops in the breakaway layup. 8 points for Tyus Jones.
Another turnover there leading to a basket.
The Suns have gone 3 of 4 so far in the third quarter from the field. Pretty good start to the half.
It's hard to imagine a team playing faster than Houston or Golden State, but the Suns actually do that. They push the pace. Phoenix, the second highest paced team in the league last season. This team, like many other Suns teams, wants to get out and run up and down, use those young legs to find scoring opportunities.
The Timberwolves another fast break chance here, and Towns gets it to go.
The defense has just been unable to slow him down. Wow, what a game.
For Phoenix, they've gone 4 of 6 from the field since the start of the third. Warren dishes to Len. Back to Warren. And Karl Anthony Towns pulls it down. Towns has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And the dunk by Muhammad.
Oh, fellas, that was a vicious two-hand monster slam.
Guys, I don't think there was anyone who could have stopped him on that one. Booker with it. 11 points in the game. Doubled by Crawford. Muhammad with the steal. And here we go. Fast break. Muhammad's got it. And Muhammad throws it down.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at both ends. Steals, fast break buckets, and the other team in scramble mode.
Bender. Phoenix no good that time either.
And seems to be forcing just a little bit out there. He needs to play a little calm, a little smarter, with a little bit more poise if they're going to win this one.
5 seeded in transition.
There's the screen. There's the pass to Warren. Len with a screen on Crawford. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Warren. Jackson, he's checked in for Bender. And for the Timberwolves, their shooting has been out of this world. 74% from the field.
Well, the D did their job there. Excellent contest to alter the close ranger.
Crawford with the steal. And here comes the break. And the dunk by Towns.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
Well, it fires up your teammates and the fans when you make plays like that out in the open court and explosive.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
Here's Jang. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in. Jang's got 12 points in the game.
And I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
And the wide open shot from Warren. And that comes off the assist by Ulis. Ulis has got 3 assists now in this one. Jang, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That's on Josh Jackson.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And he makes the first.
That's all you, man.
He's perfect from the line this time. Suns have gone even 5 of 10 on shot attempts in the third. Len a screen. And Jones over to help. Out of bounds. Minnesota takes possession. And a look here at the shot chart for Towns.
And when you come into a game with the mindset of going right at the rim and not settling for outside shots, this is what your shot chart will look like. Every chance they've had to either attack the paint or play back to the basket, they've taken it, and it's been a complete success thus far.
It's hauled in by Warren. Warren's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Jackson has the open look, and that comes off the assist by Ulis. Ulis has got 4 assists now tonight. Jackson drives in. That shot missing.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
Shooting 2.
First one falls for him. And he makes both free throws.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
Tipped away. Muhammad with the steal. Here's Towns, and he uses the glass on the layup. Towns has got 54 points.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Poke loose. The dish to Jones, and the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. And here is Ulis. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Here's the screen. And here's Booker from the arc. Rebound, Minnesota. Scoring has never been an issue for Booker, but as he grows into a bigger role, Brent, on this team, you'll want him to do more than just score.
Of course, a remarkable shooter. You'd like his shot selection to get better, but you'll wonder, as this team grows and grows around what Devin Booker has in terms of his potential, where it is that he can go.
And there's the call on Karl Anthony Towns. That will get him his 4th foul of the game.
I don't know if you push the panic button now, but that's the 4th personal, and he needs to stay aggressive out there. So going to be interesting to see how he plays moving forward.
Off the inbound pass, a rebound by the Timberwolves. Crawford's got his 4th rebound in this one. And the dunk by Towns.
Just increasing their advantage, and right now they're in a zone on both ends.
Love their strategy, and they've been able to execute on it, building a huge lead.
Now, here's Ulis. He's guarded closely, and it's Warren with the jam.
I like that recognition. Effortlessly getting his teammate the ball in a spot where he knows he can do something with it.
Towns, no luck. Phoenix has gone a less than productive 2 of 6 from three-point land in the second half. Ulis kicks to Jackson. Len sets a screen for Jackson. And the dunk by Len.
And Jackson is a terrific passer at that forward position. Fantastic at setting the table for his guys.
And the dunk by Towns.
Oh, and he takes it right at the man who just scored on him.
That's the way to answer back, with an in-your-face stuff. Knocks it loose. Inside, Muhammad with the steal. And now Minnesota on the fast break. Jones is running.
Yeah, good job with the anticipation, and then the quick hands results in points off the break.
Sometimes you calculate the risks, and he did it there, but couldn't have turned out any better.
Len with a screen on Crawford. Ball's knocked loose. It's stolen by Jones. And here we go. Fast break. Crawford's got it. And Muhammad throws it down.
And he gives that rim a good tug on the way down.
Oh, that's how you drive your point home right there. Now, here's Ulis, defended by Jones. That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time.
Trying to cut into this lead. Bad time for a miscue.
Yeah, they may have some ants in the pants right here. You just have to take what the defense gives you.
Tyson Chandler, he's checked in for Phoenix. The Timberwolves also changing it up. Taj Gibson's checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. Butler comes in for Muhammad. And it's Teague in for Jones. Jackson with it. Butler covering. 1:05 left to play in the third. And stolen by Butler. Here's Jang. And finished off by Jang.
Excellent pass there to cap that break with an uncontested basket.
Suns have gone 8 of 16 in the third quarter to put their second half shooting percentage right at 50%. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
2 shots.
And here now on the 2K leaderboard, the best distributors in the league. The point guards with the most assists per game this season. In the third spot, Jeff Teague.
And obviously assists are the name of the game at the point guard position. And that's not lost on these guys. It's all about making their teammates better.
Those are some of the best basketball minds in the NBA. The way they think the game out there is remarkable. Always several steps ahead of the defense, finding the right angles, the right openings, and making one unbelievable play after another.
He's off on the first. Sun changes for Phoenix. Chris, he's checked in for Len. And James subbed in for Booker. Andrew Wiggins checked in for Minnesota. He hits the second from the line. Here's James. 10 points for him. Knocked loose. Now here's Wiggins. Over Ulis. And Wiggins with the basket on the assist by T. And that's 13 points for Andrew Wiggins.
Nice job operating in the mid-range, using his size advantage to rise up and fire over the defender.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Ulis kicks to James. Jackson is doubled. Pass to Ulis. 4 on the clock. Looking to end the run. No good off the front iron. To the inside. The layup off target. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves, enjoying the kind of gigantic lead you almost never see. They've had active hands and have forced a lot of turnovers in this one. And we'll be right back after this. Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. Well, Phoenix shooting just 35%. They've got to get better looks. And a look at the 5 for the Timberwolves to start the fourth. They've got Brooks. Bielitsa is out there with Wiggins. Then there's Cole Aldrich. And it's Georges Hunt in at shooting guard. He gets that one. Jones has got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for the Suns. The feed to Aldrich. Banked in off the glass.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
They set the screen. James, the pass to Peters. That shot off. The Timberwolves go the other way with it. Aldrich with it. He's picked up by James. Aldrich, no good. Jones, no one around him. The shot's good on the assist by Daniels. Minnesota shooting has been just uncontainable, 72%. And that one, good.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And the foul on Cole Aldridge. That's his first foul. So the value of NBA teams now, on average, over $1 billion each, if you include all the different things they have and run. And Brent, when you take a look at that and take that into consideration, what are some of the big things the league has done to generate such growth?
Well, I think this is where you have to commend both David Stern and Adam Silver in terms of being progressive with how in touch they are with the game of basketball, addressing it internationally much better than the NFL has done it, in my opinion, over the course of the past 2 decades, where they know they've got this tremendous fan base, not only in Europe, but certainly in Asia and China, and they're more than willing, Kevin, to go to those markets, expose those players, and get them enthusiastic and excited about what our game offers.
Hits it from three-point range.
And when the D is this non-existent, it's pretty easy for shooters fishing with dynamite.
And the foul on Cole Aldridge. That'll be his second foul of the game. For Phoenix, they've gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Knocked away. That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time.
And becoming impatient, that's not how you're going to catch up.
Yeah, that's a painful mistake there. All you can do is just shake that one off and try your best to move on to the next play.
Georges Hunt kicks to Aldridge. And the shot is good.
Oh, great production on the interior right now. 8 straight from inside.
Jones against Brooks. Launches it. And there's Daniel. That's good on the assist by Jones.
And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
But they'll get another chance. The Elitsa with the bucket.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
Daniels dishes to Bender. That's tipped. And just about 3 minutes through.
Oh!
Yes, sir.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
Well, it fires up your teammates and the fans when you make plays like that out in the open court and explosive.
Offensive rebound. Jones. Tough sequence there. They just couldn't get it to fall.
I know it's physically impossible, but he's got to be kicking himself. He knows he's got to make those.
Here's Wiggins, and the officials call a traveling violation.
Well, overall, he has played basically flawless basketball, but that was a bad turnover.
Phoenix has gone 2 of 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. They double him with Wiggins. In the corner, Daniels. Screen by Jones. It's going to be out of bounds. The Suns will retain possession. And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Wiggins. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Peters, good on the three-point shot.
Man, the triples keep falling, guys. That's 3 in a row.
Wiggins passes to Bielitsa. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. And Phoenix has possession. They'll face the Lakers after this one. That'll be at home. Here's Bender. And a miss there on the triple.
Not a whole lot going down for him at this point. He just can't buy a break.
And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Hey, Brent, when you look at the All-Star balloting, it's amazing how many worthy point guards have to be left off the roster. How'd the league end up with so many great players at that position all at once? It's an amazing story.
It has been an incredible crop. I mean, really the golden era of point guards. And the one guy who I feel really badly for over the course certainly of the last 5 or 6 seasons is one Mike Conley. Any coach in the league would take Mike Conley at the drop of a hat, yet he's dealing with, over the course of his career, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Tony Parker, Steve Nash, Chauncey Billups, Chris Paul. Should I go on, Kevin? It is a very, very tough position.
Those names, it says it all. Good on both. For Phoenix, they've gone 5 of 11 from the field in the fourth quarter. Jones with it. Guarded now by Aaron Brooks. And Bender throws it down.
And Bender is a tall guy who can definitely slam it down when given the opportunity. Oh, yikes! Look out below. How about that finish? Oof. Oh, how about the look on the fans' faces? I mean, they are in shock.
Utterly astounding.
Well, that is what you pay to come and see the best athletes in the world.
Off target with his 3. On the wing, Wiggins. He's guarded by Dudley. And Wiggins throws it down.
And there's one thing that's never been in question about Wiggins, his ability to be a high-volume scorer. And in case you needed a reminder, he's giving you one tonight.
Dudley, no luck. The Timberwolves shooting just phenomenal here tonight. 73% from the field. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Brent, many teams have cracked down on cell phone use during practices and during games. Can anything be done on a league level in that regard?
Hold on, Kevin. I'm getting a call.
Okay, good. Yeah. Can you put him on hold for just a second?
Yeah, Mom, I'm talking to Kevin Harlan. It's a different age. I don't think the league, Kevin, can do anything with regards to how players use their mobile devices. That's up to the team and how it is a coach make sure that the demands of what your practice schedule is and your game schedule and your attentiveness to those times that you need to be there, that takes precedent.
Free throw good. Wiggins. Shabazz Muhammad's checked in for Minnesota. So he picks up just 1 from the line that time. The Suns have gone only 6 of 14 from the field in the fourth. Jones kicks to Dudley. Drills it from outside.
Boy, this final period, they are putting up a ton of shots from deep.
Yeah, and making them. Once you get into this kind of rhythm with the 3 ball, it is so difficult for the defense to do anything about it. Well, he's like a carpenter out there. Great floor awareness. Zipping the ball over to his teammates with ease.
There's the pick. Here's Daniels. From outside, off the mark. And the Timberwolves with possession here. Muhammad. The shot that time, not on target. Good work defensively by Jones. Over in the corner, Dudley. Hits the 3-point bomb. Dudley's got 6 here in this quarter.
And that's back-to-back threes. The D just seems to be slacking off a little bit.
Oh boy, to be young again.
Makes you nostalgic, doesn't it? Well, Phoenix shooting about 47% here in the fourth. They double him with Wiggins. Bender, no good.
Now you got to fight through things like this right now. His team needs him to shoot better. It's just had a tough quarter.
And nicely done. Running the floor well, then attacking the rim.
The exclamation point in transition with the high percentage finish.
Knocks it loose. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Here's Brooks. If you ever did decide to go into coaching, Brent, would you also like to be the general manager to ensure you have the players do you really want to coach?
Well, I'd also like a new car and a Learjet, Kevin. If I could get those two, I'll try my best. But
I hear you. I know.
I really think that relegating that role to somebody else that you can be on the same page with is the best way to go. It's a fresh set of eyes.
That's the key. I totally agree.
Fresh set of eyes, and they have the time to devote to what your team and your roster is going to need while you make sure you're developing the roster yourself. So I think having a general manager do his job and a coach do his job might be the way that I would prefer to do things, although we've seen other guys have success in both roles.
Here's what Phoenix has got going on right now. Lenz checked in for Peters, and Eula subbed in for Jones. Jones checked in for Minnesota. And the second free throw, good. So far, we've seen them be a bit careless with the ball.
Simply put, out of control is how they've played thus far. They're going to have to reel it in and show some more discipline.
Now, here's Ulis. Defense is right there. 6 to shoot. Here's Bender. That shot misses. The Timberwolves go the other way with it.
Man, if he's missing those kind of good looks, his team is in some serious trouble.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Ulis with it. Jones covering. Ulis kicks to Dudley. And that comes off the assist by Ulis. Dudley's got 9 points now in just the second half. Muhammad the pass to Bielitsa. And he throws it down hard with one hand.
And you can see it. They're in a nice rhythm in terms of shooting. It's been that way the entire second half.
And then there's the other team. Can't say that about them. Big gap in the recent field goal percentage between these two squads.
And he completely threw the timing off on that jumper. That is how you D up.
Playing with tremendous aggressiveness without fouling. That's an excellent job.
Up by a bunch, he's still pushing the action, trying to impose his will.
Well, collectively, they've done it tonight here. A passionate performance from the squad.
Ulis, good.
The mid-range jumper is a high percentage shot for him, and when he's got that much room, forget about it. And something we always talk about, though, shot selection.
Well, being aggressive is one thing, but aggression with control is another, and you need both elements working together.
Minnesota shooting just phenomenal here tonight. 73% from the field. And there it is for him. Muhammad's got 22 points.
And where's the fight defensively? I mean, you know you need stops to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, down by double digits, failing to shut down the lane. It has been a rough night.
And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. Hey, Brent, with the size and speed of NBA athletes, could we see the court widened out at some point, whether it's the lane or even the boundaries widened?
That's a great question, Kevin. I often thought that the league should widen the court to the point where the 23-9 three-point line should be an exact semicircle.
Is the same, yes.
Which would extend the court another couple feet on each end and create more space, more driving opportunities, more room to watch the greatest athletes in the world do what they do best. That's run, jump, pass, and entertain us. So maybe the league looks at it. Right now, I don't think there's any plans for it, but it's a great question.
Gorgie Dangs checked in for Aaron Brooks. And he sinks the second.
And Bender's one of those guys just oozing with potential. A big man who runs the floor well and uses his size down close to the basket.
Out of bounds, Phoenix will take possession. Minnesota making a switch here. Crawford's checked in. Now, here's Ulis, defended by Jones. It's going to be out of bounds. The Suns will retain possession. Now, here's Ulis. Not a lot of room. He feeds it to Dudley. over Jang. Dudley's shot is good. Dudley's got 11 in the second half.
You know, he has single-handedly helped them carve into this lead thanks to his scoring in the quarter.
Jang, no luck.
Got to make those shots. Not sure how he missed it. Defense was just okay.
And Gorgie Jang is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Hey, Brent, in other sports, later draft picks often become all-star level players. That seems to be much more rare in the NBA. Why do you think that is?
I'm not sure, Kevin, and there are a lot of great finds for NBA teams in the second round and even late into the second round as guys who make solid contributions not only to their team right away because they might be more mature players that are passed over because the young guys show potential. I think that scouts do a great job of finding that rare talent. Maybe they're selected a little bit more early than they would be in previous drafts. There's much more information out there for GMs to get at.
Ulis kicks to Dudley. And the call will be against Alex Len. That's foul number 2 for him. Minnesota shooting has been just uncontainable. 72%. Bielitsa with the bucket.
Yeah, that's pretty much a perfect pass, and that's also alliteration.
The Suns shooting has been wayward so far. Only 37% from the floor. Dishes at the land. Back to Ulis. From beyond the arc. Rebound by Jang. Jang's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Bielitsa misses. Well, Phoenix shooting here in the fourth quarter around 41%. Dudley with it. Now defended by Muhammad. Dudley dishes to Ulis. Muhammad against Dudley. Rebound by Bielitsa.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Timberwolves.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget. And on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And with this effort tonight, grabbing their 8th win of the year.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Karl Anthony Towns.
You have to focus on the steals he came up with. They were huge factors in the end result.
Peters checks in for Alex Len. And the Timberwolves call time. They're leading 1:03 left in the fourth quarter. Chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Karl Anthony Towns.
And Kevin, it's a no-brainer. He's controlled every aspect of this game, and it's just so fun to see a player perform at a level that's just higher than anyone else out on the floor.
He silenced this crowd with an unreal display. His ability to drown out the noise and the hostility of an opposing crowd is pretty special. .103 left in the game. Jones from outside. And the 3 ball is good.
Running up the score, showing no mercy.
Well, you want to close the door on any type of comeback effort. This has been a vault. Ka-ching.
You're right. Ulis kicks to Daniels. Tried to come right back with the three of his own, but it's no good. It's Bielitsa, and he didn't get quite enough under that one. Ulis passes to Daniels. He dishes it to Bender. Phoenix, no good that time either.
You know, not sure if it's him or the defense, but just something's off tonight.
Well, something in this frame for sure, but when you're out of rhythm, sometimes it's better to play the role of being the facilitator.
I'll tell you, when you're the visiting team, it can be hard to maintain focus, but not tonight.
Tonight they have stuck with what they do well, handling all the exterior pressure, and they're likely to come out on top here.
And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Hey, Kevin, thank you. Andrew, an impressive win for you guys. How will you look back on tonight?
It feels great, I think the whole team played great. We shared the ball, we grabbed rebounds, we made big possessions, so I think it was a great game.
Hey, Andrew, congrats again. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. So for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and the whole 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. See you next time.